That's a great question.
Mhm.
All right. We may be live, so let's get ready. All right, we are live, I think.
Good morning. If we are live, hey guys.
Thanks for your patience, Central Oregon. We're still figuring this out. All right, it looks like we're live.
Nice. Well,
But I can't see you, so just wait 1 sec before you jump in.
I will.
Live on streaming service.
If you guys are joining us and you can hear me or see me, both, we just want to say, hey, good morning. We're checking in with you all. We miss being out in the community and touching base regularly, and we're exploring some new platforms to try to see how we can connect over time. So we're streaming this through all of our different channels today, right, Ryan?
It looks like Twitch is down, so Facebook and YouTube are a go. You can also, if you're taking a break from Facebook after today, you can always go to our website /livestream and watch this there as well.
Nice, thanks. Well, I just want to give you guys some updates about where we are with our services, let you know what's coming down the pipeline, and then also see if you guys have any questions. So feel free if you've got a question or a comment, throw it in a chat. Ryan's keeping an eye on those. But otherwise, just really wanted to let you know what's going on with Saving Grace. We've had a lot of people reach out and ask how COVID-19 is impacting our staff, how it's impacting survivors here locally. I think one of the first things that's best to talk through is what we're currently offering. So Saving Grace continues to offer 24-hour crisis support. That's via our helpline. If you or anyone you know needs to reach out and speak to an advocate day or night, please don't hesitate in calling us at 541-389-7021. It's a really important part, especially as survivors and people in general are just kind of stuck at home. And oftentimes people aren't certain if it's abuse, what's going on. They really just want to talk through with us. So know that our trained team is there and ready to take your call anytime, day or night. Another service that's continuing just as normal is our one-on-one advocacy. This is really one of our most vital services. This includes referring people to resources, safety planning, legal support. The list, quite honestly, goes on and on. Our incredible advocates continue to work full-time, making sure that our Tri-County area is supported and connecting with any survivor to make sure that they have what they need during this difficult time. We're still doing counseling as well. It's all virtual at this point, either over the phone or via Zoom, just like we are today. But we're only doing that with internal clients at this time, clients that had already been seeing a counselor. As you guys can imagine, that list has been, our survivors have really needed to talk through some things right now. We are taking a waiting list and we're hoping to invite more people into our counseling services here in just the next few weeks. Mary's Place, which is our safe exchange and visitation center, it is still open. We're only doing exchanges at this time just to make sure that we don't spread COVID-19. However, I'm really excited that the team has been testing a number of virtual platforms and they hope to offer some virtual visitation to families here in the next few weeks. So more to come on that, but know that we're still working and we're still facilitating exchanges over at Mary's Place. Finally, we're still sheltering people who need it. We're taking necessary precautions at our shelter to make sure that we don't spread coronavirus. But if someone is in need of help, we are continuing to do emergency sheltering during this time, especially as people don't have anywhere to go. Options are really limited. So again, if you or anybody that you know thinks they might need to speak with an advocate to just kind of find out if Saving Grace can help them, please call us 541-389-7021. Hey, Ryan, do we have anything going on in our chat?
You know, nothing yet. Last week, we kind of teed everyone up that, you know, in 15 minutes, we're going to start this weekly live stream update and test. So clearly that's probably the way to go, to give some people a heads up. We actually jumped the gun. It's not even 11. I just
It's
got
not even
really
11, is it?
it's not. We started way early, and that's my bad. Trying to make sure that our different tech stuff is communicating in the right way, which it is, which is great. I don't know if you already. I was half listening. Did you mention Sam? That we're in the middle of
I've
Sam
not
month?
gotten there yet. No.
Okay.
Hey, why don't you talk about Sexual Assault Awareness Month a little bit?
Yeah, sure. I was teeing up the PSA that's running on local TV at the moment. If we want to give that a go.
Let's do it.
All right. One sec.
If you're joining us, we're just giving some updates. Ryan's going to now stream our video that we're showing across Central Oregon right now for Sexual Assault Awareness Month.
It's a scary world out there, but if you're in an unsafe relationship, we know it's scary at home too. If you're isolated at home with an unsafe partner and need help, you're not alone. Call our 24-hour helpline now at 541-389-7021. Since 1977, Saving Grace has provided safe and confidential services for thousands of survivors just like you. Learn more about us at lifewithoutviolence.org.
All right.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah. And we've got another one we can share, but first it might be a good idea to talk about the question we have been asked multiple times, which is, are you seeing your calls increase?
Yeah, and it's a great question, and one that we've gotten quite a bit. You've probably seen news headlines across the country that domestic violence calls are increasing. Right now, at this time, we're not seeing a huge influx in calls to our 24-hour helpline. However, the calls that we have been receiving have been really high needs. And quite frankly, a lot of people who are in really dangerous situations. So it's been kind of an interesting shift for us, as some of those numbers, those just general calls have gone down, but the people who seem to be reaching out really are in danger. There's a lot of reasons why people might not be able to call Saving Grace at this time. If you can imagine being isolated at home with an abuser without being able to leave in any way, quite frankly, you might not be able to make a safe phone call. And even trying to do so might really be a risk while somebody's stuck at home. So we've been diligently working on a chat platform. I'm really excited to say that we are in the final stages of testing. And what this will do is it'll be via our website. People can access this chat from their smartphone, a tablet, a computer, and connect directly with an advocate in a more discreet way. We're really excited to offer this service to Central Oregon and give survivors who are in dangerous situations another opportunity to make sure that they're reaching out and connecting with someone. So more to come on that. But like I said, for right now, we're not seeing an increase in calls, but we are seeing an increase in needs. The survivors that are coming to us really don't have any other options. They don't have very many resources, and they just need a lot of support at this time.
Nice. Well said. Well said. I know, because sometimes, what comes up maybe in the media is something that's triggering to a survivor. So there's some court case or something with celebrity, and then our helpline calls increase. And that's more to someone needing to talk through and process what's going on with them. But as you mentioned, the calls are a little bit of a higher crisis level, which could be the need for immediate guidance on a restraining order, or we do have individuals call and ask us to make the 911 call for them, which is pretty serious. So the chat line is an opportunity for them to be more discreet in their communication and reach out for help. And we are all very, very excited. We've had a number of advocates testing it, putting together training materials. The platform we're going to be using actually donated that for us, and they're really excited to see how we're using what they designed for a sales platform, and we're using it to engage with people in need. So they've been really great in helping us navigate that. So pretty cool innovations that wouldn't have probably happened as quickly without a pandemic. So it is what it is.
Definitely, and I think it's a good time to plug. The community has been so supportive of Saving Grace and survivors at this time, from donating technology to reaching out and donating meals, and also people just opening up their hearts and their wallets, because as you can imagine, financial support for us it's really the best way that we can make sure to have the flexibility to serve the needs of survivors. So I do want to thank a couple of donors that just came to us this week with some incredibly generous gifts. Weston Health Screening, the owners recently retired. However, they were really inspired to make a donation on behalf of their friend, Michael and Gianna here in Bend. So they donated $5,000, and Weston Health Screening, that can make a huge impact in just how we're continuing to carry out our services and how we're able to make sure that we're responding to COVID-19 appropriately. Also, MDU Resource Foundation reached out to us and provided us a $2,000 donation this week. Same thing. Thank you so much, MDU Resources, for connecting with us and supporting survivors. Like Ryan was saying, there are a lot of people who are in high crisis and high need right now, and we just appreciate the community standing beside us and standing by survivors during this time.
Yeah, that's so cool. And we have seen a number of our online donations include a comment, and it's something, they're typically very, very intentional. Like, you've just been on my mind. I just want you to know how much I appreciate the work you're doing. And so that just speaks volumes, I think, to, you know, the finger on the pulse that our community has, realizing that not everyone can just do some extra grocery shopping and lay low for weeks on end, you know, that home is not the safe place, like you mentioned. So yeah, it's pretty encouraging from the community so far.
Definitely, definitely. Well, you know, kind of another piece that Ryan was mentioning as to what we're focusing on right now and trying to bring light to is it's Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And this is a time where we like to highlight some of the unfortunate circumstances and the unfortunate number of people, both here in Central Oregon and across the country, who are sexually assaulted every year. Knowing that this is a really trying time and a really stressful time, sharing of this information looks a little different for us. We're trying to just be really mindful and trauma informed, frankly. As we know, everybody has a lot of stress on their plates. However, it's so important to bring awareness to this month and make sure that we're talking about sexual assault, because chances are, you know, somebody who's been sexually assaulted, you just don't know it from them. So here later this month, we're hosting our first virtual Take Back the Night event. We're really excited. We've never done a virtual event like this before, but again, like Ryan said, it kind of leads to some innovation here at Saving Grace. So we hope this is going to be a time where people can join us, learn more about Saving Grace, that we can talk about sexual assault, and that we can really hold space for survivors. We'll just be making sure that we're standing in solidarity with them and recognizing that this happens. Yeah, so what are you showing us, Ryan?
Yes, I'm just showing if you go to our website, click on events, you'll be able to see the info. You can stream on the channel of your choice, and it's really just 30 minutes. It's an opportunity to connect with, you know, a serious topic. If you're unfamiliar, it's a chance to feel supported, that you're not alone by hearing other survivors chime in on their experience. And, you know, one thing that we've done to tee up the event and the month is a very brave individual. Her name's Cassie. She shared her story a few months back that we saved for April. And it provides so much great perspective as she shares what she understood about sexual assault before she was a victim of it. How she, you know, went from being a victim to a survivor, both emotionally and mentally, and through counseling and other relationships. And actually, Cassie, we could show this little teaser.
Let's do it.
He got 90 days of jail time in Chief County Jail. He got charged with felony coercion. But he did not have to sign up as a sex offender, and he got 2 misdemeanors, assault with a bullet, and then he was required by the court to take domestic abuse classes, and he got released from jail after 71 days. Oh, I was pissed. I mean, I was already mad that he only got 90 days, but,
Thanks, Ryan, for that clip. You know, one thing that just stands out for me about Cassie's story is the fact that she didn't even realize at the time that it was sexual assault. I think we have this idea that if we're sexually assaulted, it's going to be by a stranger in a dark alley and it's going to look like this. The truth is, sexual assault is not like that. More often than not, it's from somebody that the person knows, who's causing that harm, who's sexually assaulting someone else. And so it's just really interesting to see her kind of navigate that process of understanding that was happening, finding hope, and then that kind of long road of being a survivor to where she is now. So yeah, we'll be continuing to highlight Cassie's story and other stories this month again, and just bringing awareness to it. Like I said earlier, you probably know someone who's been sexually assaulted, but it's just not something that we talk a lot about here in Central Oregon, or quite frankly, across the country. So we're doing our part to make sure that folks are aware, to make sure that we're standing behind survivors and just not letting them suffer in silence.
Well said. I got one
Any-
last thought if you don't.
Go do it.
All right. It's kind of funny to me every time I look at this, I'll share my screen one more time, is we made this new landing page on our website when everything really started to go down. And the we're in this together it came organically, I think, for everyone, including us. And I think it just goes to show the level to which our community rallies around each other. There's this new site up called SOS Bend, and they're attempting to connect, the average Joe citizen with businesses and supporting them through, their closures. And that's just one example of many that I think we've all seen online with the pandemic group, Facebook group on Bend that really blew up, and a number of other ways. And so, wherever you're at, whatever you have to give, $1, $2, a face mask, a share of a Facebook post that you think someone would find interesting or helpful. We really are all in this together.
Very well said. Very well said. And, to echo Ryan, it's just been an exercise for us. We know that we're the only domestic violence and sexual assault organization in all of Central Oregon. And so the truth of the matter is we don't have an option of closing down. We don't have an option of not being there for survivors, but these are uncertain times. It has impacts on our organization. It has impacts on our staff. And so we are doing everything that we can as Saving Grace to make sure that we are strong and ready to handle the changing needs of survivors and this changing culture that we're living in as we're isolating and social distancing and just not having access to resources in the same way. So kind of like Ryan said, we're doing everything that we can to make sure that we're being responsive, both here in our community and responsive to survivors. And so that means a lot of work in virtualizing and digitalizing what this kind of work looked like in the past. But we're excited about it and excited for your support. We know this is going to be a long road as there's no really end in sight, and the future is kind of unknown as to when we'll be coming out of our homes and able to be a community more. So like he said, if you can connect, whether it's sharing a Facebook post, just sharing that Saving Grace exists, if you know somebody who might need our services, donating a face mask for our team who's still in shelter every day, who are still doing exchanges every day, or opening up your wallet if that's where you're at in your life right now, because the needs of survivors are great. And as much as COVID-19 is really challenging for all of us to stay at home and really just change our lives, it's extremely challenging to survivors who are living in unsafe situations. And so from the bottom of my heart, thank you for supporting us. Thank you for thinking about us. And we're going to continue working through with this. Our team is strong. If any of you guys are watching, I am more proud of you all than you could ever know, and so honored to work beside some incredible professionals during this time. And survivors, again, we are here for you. We're not going anywhere, despite what changes with COVID-19. So if you need us in any way, please check out our website, saving-grace.org, or call our helpline, 389-7021.
Well done. Solid update.
Nice. Well,
Next
hey,
week at
guys,
11.
next week at 11, we're going to keep on doing this. Don't forget, Take Back the Night, April 30th. Check it out on our Facebook page and our website. And yeah, we look forward to talking with you guys soon.